Okay, I should be live here, guys. Bill Soriano in Pittsburgh, coming at you live from the Forex Smart Money Trading Academy group here. And if you're seeing this video, then you should be a member of this group. And if you are, make sure you watch these two videos, these two featured videos right here. What is Smart Monix, right? And what is the ATH Indicator? So Smart Monix is a smart money strategy, and our ATH indicators are community's proprietary indicator. So you do have to be a customer of our community in order to get access to the ATH indicator. We have a bunch of training on how to use it. Today, I'm going to show you a bunch of trades from this week. A couple of these trades I was able to take, but most of them I wasn't able to take because as you know, I own a restaurant and I'm only able to trade for a few hours at night during the Asian session. So most of these trades I wasn't able to take because they went off either during the overnight during the London session or in the morning during the New York session. So there were a couple that I took, and I will show you that I got some small profits on them. Not anything great, but overall for the week, using smart money and using our ATH or 62 ATH indicator, I was able to gain 2% on my account, and I'll show you that as well here when I get into that. But what I want to tell you is that, remember we have our brand new 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series that you can get free of charge, right? You get one video every day to watch on our Smart Money Concepts, and then at the end of that, if you like what you see, you can make a decision whether or not to join our community. If you do join, that's great. You'll get access to everything that we have, all of our training, our ATH indicator, and you also get access to all of the live training at the company that we're with as well. So if you have not if you haven't gone through that 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series yet, drop me a message, drop a comment down below or message me on Messenger, and I will send you the link to register for that free of charge. No strings attached. You go through it. When you're done, if you don't want to do anything else, that's fine. If you decide you want to become a customer of our community, that's great as well. Now, if you've already gone through that series or you've been following me for a while here and you're ready to join our community, the great news is for a couple more days here until I think tomorrow night at midnight, you can save $100 right now if you join our community. So there's a video that I can send you that explains that offer, that promotional offer in detail. So again, it's also in the group here if you scroll down in the group. But again, I can send you the link to that. And if you're interested in that, again, just drop a message down below this live video, or message me on Messenger and I'll send you a link so you can get started. The company also offers a 7-day money back guarantee, so you can try out everything that they have, everything that we have in our community. The great thing is you get access to both, so you get the best of both worlds. And if after 7 days you don't think it's for you, then you just contact the company, get your money back, and they'll give it to you as long as you're within that 7-day window. So let me just show you. Let me go to my desktop here, pull up a couple of these screenshots here. So this is a screenshot of my trades this week, and this is on my $50,000 funded challenge account, which I'll show you the back office to as well. But this was about a 2% gain on the account for the week here. Okay, this CHFJPY trade, this was a smart money trade, right? I went over that on live sessions in the group here, just pull them up. And then this AUD-CHF trade was a 62 ATH, right? And see here, where's the second part of that image right here? And then I took the AUD-CH trade twice, got a small profit on Friday. This loss right here that I incurred was a mistake that I made, and I go over this in the video that I made earlier in the week. But when I went to buy this the second time here, I don't know what I was doing, but I made a mistake and I sold it. Not only did I sell it, I still had 5 lots selected in my trading platform MT4. So I took that trade and then I had to hurry up and get out of it. And so there was a loss of $100 incurred there because I made a mistake. But overall, even with that $100, that was really the only loss I had this week, and it was a mistake. But like I showed you, overall, even with that $100 loss on this account, we had a $1,000 gain, which was about 2%, a little bit over 2%, right? But we are still down about 2 to 2.5% on that account so far this month. So we're going to hope to pick that up this week. But just getting back to what we were saying here, here's some people I've been messaging. People have been messaging me, asking me, and they want access to the 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series. So, like I said, if you want that, just let me know, and I'll send you the link to register for that. Now, if you go through the group here, you can see the actual trades that I took here, right? And by the way, this is a smart money trade in GBP CAD that we're going to be looking to get into next week. I'm not going to go over smart money today, so I'll go over this in tomorrow's live session. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you get your notifications are turned on so you know when I'm going live. Of course, it's going to stay in the group. It'll be recorded, so it's no big deal if you miss the live session. But I'm going to go over the smart money trades tomorrow. So smart money trades will be Sunday. Today, I'm going to focus on showing you the 62 pullback strategy that we use using our ATH indicator. And this is we're primarily taking trades on the 1-hour chart when we do this, right? So we're looking at the 4-hour time frame to determine the trend, and then we're taking our trades on the 1-hour chart. So as you know, with our smart money, we look at the 4-hour time frame for the trend and also to identify our order block, and then we take our trades on the 15-minute. Okay, so again, this is somebody that's impersonating me. You see they've created this group called Forex Trading. My group is called Forex Smart Money Trading Academy. They've created a group called Forex Trading. They've copied my picture, put it on there, copied some of my images in the group here for their banner. And like I said, this message, if you get a message from this group, Forex Trading, that is not me. So I will never ask you for any money. So do not, if you get anything from this group, Forex Trading, just block it and report it, okay? I've already reported it to Facebook, haven't heard back from it yet. So as you can see here, Arnold Diamond was saying that this person has been sending him links to my videos. So what they're doing is they're going to send you links to my videos, and then eventually they're going to ask for some money, right? So that's what their scam is. So this was a 62 trade in GBP CHF. I didn't take this one because it was on the 15-minute time frame, and I haven't tested that out thoroughly enough. I did my back testing on the 1-hour time frame, so I didn't take this trade. But as we could see here, this was the pullback to the 62, right? That's the green moving average line here. And then we got the ATH, that's our proprietary indicator. That's these blue triangles here. And we can set this so that they only show up when there's been a pullback to the 62 moving average. So you don't get all the ATH indicators, you just get the ones that are lining up with your strategy. And so then here's the candle right here. That tells you to take the trade at the open of the next candle. Now, you can decide whether to take the trade at the open of the next candle, or if you want to wait to see if price pulls back into the body of this candle to give you a better entry. In this case, it does, right? Sometimes it doesn't. And then this trade, of course, goes right up. It shoots right up past the take profit, which is a 1 to 2, before then dropping down. So that was a trade in GBP CHF, and that was on the 15-minute. Now this is the trade in AUD CHF. Of course, this is on the 1 hour now, and on this one, I was able to price moved up about 38%, 38 pips, sorry, not 38%. I closed half the position at plus 30, got stopped out at the other half at break even, okay? And, and then on the update here, I took it again and I got out with a small profit. So this was the initial image here, right? Price had pulled back here. It came down, touched the 62, wick, get some wick rejection here, which is really good. It actually comes down and touches this 1 hour order block here, which is smart money tied into it. And then we get the ATH right here. And again, you can take the trade at the open of the next candle, or you can wait for a price to retrace down into the body of this candle a little bit and fill this imbalance. It's up to you how you do it, but just remember that sometimes you'll miss out on trades because of that, because it'll just shoot up. But also sometimes you'll get better entries and better risk to rewards on your trades if you wait for a little pullback into that body there, and you get that here. And we can see here price shoots up. Like I said, I closed half the position overnight on this once it was up 30 pips, and then it came down. I got stopped out of the other half at break even. Okay, and then if we see here, I took this trade again off of this, more pullbacks here to the 62. We got another ATH confirmation right here. You have a break of structure here on the 1 hour. So this is a smart money area here. So this is also smart money trade. And then what happens is this really goes in the drawdown for most of the day on Friday. And then at 2 p.m., since we don't hold trades over the weekend, right? So I'll always normally close any trades I have on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I just pick 2 p.m. as a random time, but I try to stick with that all the time, okay? Sometimes if I'm not in profit at 2 p.m., I might wait until 3. But, you got to get out of the trades before the session closes on Friday, because price can gap up or down on you, take you through your stop loss, and you can, blow a trading account, blow a funded challenge, whatever you're doing. Okay, so I did get out of this at 2 p.m. here on this candle here with a little bit of a profit. And I showed you that in the, this is AUD CHF. So you see that. You're going to see those AUD CHF trades right here. Here's the first one. Like I said, I got out with a 30 pip gain on half the position. And the second half of the position, I got stopped out at break even, right? And then the second trade was right here. Again, I made the mistake when I went to take the second trade. I was rushing. I don't know why, because I'm taking the trades on the 1 hour chart. I mean, I can understand if you're on the 1 minute or the 5 minute that you would rush, that I clicked the sell button by mistake. And not only that, I didn't change it from the last setting where it was set on 5 lots. So I got in this trade. I had to hurry up and get out, right? Got a $100 loss. Then I did take the trade. And like I said, I closed half the position here. This was around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Closed half the position, up just 2 pips. And then the other half up just 1 pip. Got out of it with a small profit. Now, it's important to note here that although I only got a small profit on this, this was down, right, by 1% at many points during the day on Friday. So when I pulled this up, it was many times it was down, as you can see here, how price dropped down here. Here's where I got into the trade. And here we're down about 1% at that point. So that's about $500 that we were in drawdown. Luckily for us, price did move back up and we were able to get out of it at 2 p.m. Eastern time with a small profit. Okay. So that trade I did take. right? So let's get back here. Let's see what else we have. We had marked up in the group here. Now, this was a trade in EUR AUD. Again, I wasn't able to take this trade. As you can see here, price pulls back here to the 62, but there's no ATH signal. And then it comes down, pulls back again, right? Get the ATH right here. So again, you can get in at the open of the next candle, or you can wait for a pullback, which you would have gotten into a trade with the pullback. Now, on this one here, you do have a break of structure here. So this is a smart money zone as well. That's how I have that highlighted here. And then on this one, what happens on this one is price comes down, shoots right down. And you can see right here, we would get out of this trade. I think this was a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio trade. And then, so you would be out of the trade before this news hits right here. And you can see this big wick here on this news candle. It takes it all the way up, right? Of course, we would have been out of the trade by then. So that was a good trade in EUR USD. And these are 62 pullbacks using the ATH indicator. Remember, the ATH indicator is our community's proprietary indicator. We're the only ones that have it. You have to be a customer of our community in order to get access to it. Okay. So this is the 62 pullback trade. Okay. And then, like I told you right now, there is a $100 discount if you want to join our community. Okay. This was an entry in EUR GBP, right? That I missed. This was a smart money entry. Okay, so we have our zone here. This is our 4-hour liquidity block. And this middle dash line, of course, is our point of interest. Now, this was a smart money trade, so I'm not going to go over it today. I'm going to go over it more in detail tomorrow. But this was just a trade that I missed here. We've got a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern right there. And there's the big move down. You know, all the way down to here. So that was a very good trade that I missed. Again, because it went off at noon. Okay, and this was my CHF-JPY trade that I did get the profit on that you're seeing in the image I showed you earlier. This, however, did go all the way through my 1 to 5 risk to reward zone here. Now, again, this is a smart money trade, so I'm not going to go over that in detail today. Just want to show you that. And I think that was all the post for the week, right? This goes back to me marking up the 4-hour order blocks for all the forex pairs. This was 6 days ago. I'll be doing this live tomorrow on Sunday. So Saturday is going to be dedicated to our 62 ATH trades, where I'm going to basically just go through, review the trades that I've taken and review all the trades that presented themselves during the week using our 62 pullback strategy. Now, if you remember, this strategy deals with, let me just pull up my TradingView account here now, and I have this watch list here set up for the 62. So here's our ATH indicator right here. We have this set for the 1362 to be aligned. That means you're not going to get any ATH indicators unless the 13 and the 62 are aligned on both the chart you're on and your trend chart, which in this case is the 4-hour. Then this 62 filter means that you only get ATH signals when price pulls back and hits the 62 moving average. Okay, and then display vertical lines on the new trends. So all that is selected for you. Now, I have the quick turn turned off here. That's another strategy. That's our ATH quick turn strategy. That's another strategy you'll learn about when you join our community. I'm not using that strategy in my trading plan. I use smart money and I use the 62 pullback strategy. So we don't need to have the quick turn turned on. And you can see I have it unchecked here. You learn everything about all these strategies that we use. We use our ATH indicator for the 62 pullback, the quick turn, And we also use it as a confirmation on our smart money trades, which I'll go over tomorrow for you. So here, let's just look at some of these pairs here going through the charts here for the week. So right here, you see our ATH indicator goes off. We have a pullback to the 62. Now the red line again is our 13 EMA. The green line is our 62, right? So we want, if we're taking a long position, we want the 13 to be above the 62 on our trigger chart, which in this case is the 1 hour, and it should also be above on the 4 hour. Now that's our trend chart. Now that's done automatically for us with the indicator, so we don't have to worry about it. We know that if this indicator goes off here for a buy, that it is in line with the 4 hour chart. And if we scroll over, we'll see a vertical green line right here that tells us that is where the 13 crossed the 62 on the 4 hour. So this has been moving up here. We get the pullback. We have this break of structure here, right? We have a few break of structures. So this is a smart money trade because we do have an order block right down here. Let's grab this here. The price is in, right? Okay, so here's our ATH indicator again. We want to get in this trade at the open of the next 1 hour candle. You have to wait for this candle to close to make sure that that indicator stays on. Now, this indicator is not repaint. Once the candle closes, if there's an indicator there, it'll stay there. If it's not there, it'll never show up. However, while this 1 hour candle, since we're on the 1 hour chart, is active, this indicator will go on and off based on the price action of that candle. So you can see here that this is also a smart money trade based off of the 1 hour order block, right? Now, when we do our actual smart money trades, we use the 4 hour order blocks, right? But for the ATH, we can see that this is also a smart money trade. Now, that's not a requirement to take the trade using the 62 pullback unless you put that in your trading plan, okay? So as you can see here, but it's an extra confirmation, right? If it's there, and that's how I use it, as an extra confirmation. That tells me that, you know, maybe instead of risking 1% of my trading account, I can go ahead and risk the full percent because it did pull back into a smart money zone. It did hit a liquidity block, right? Remember, these zones are areas where the banks and the institutions who control the market, they manipulate the market on a daily basis. They have the money to do that, right? These are the areas where they leave their footprints, and we know that they need to come back into these areas before they continue price in the direction they want it to go. So on this one here, if we go ahead and, you know, let's say we get in at the open of the next candle, our stop loss would go right down here. It's about 28 pips away. And you can see that this moves up for an easy 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade. So you can easily get your 1 to 2 right here and get out, right? So that's in AUD CAD. Now this is AUD USD. We can see here, this has been trending up in a while. We had one pullback here. Now, I'll show you this, guys. The first pullback after this 4 hour flips on us, right? So this is where the 4 hour chart, we could see right here on the 1 hour, the 13 crosses the 62. But on the 4 hour, it doesn't cross until right here. That's what this vertical line tells us on the 1 hour. So we don't have to go over to the 4 hour and look because we know that this red line is telling us that's where it flipped. Now, let me just show you this just to show it to you, just to prove it to you. If I put a blue line right there and I go to the 4 hour, right? Well, my blue line didn't show up. Let's try that again. I put a blue line right there, right? And we drop it up to the 4 hour. Here's our blue line. And right there is where you see that the red 13 crosses above the 62, right? So that's what we need. Now I have this blue line, that's the 200, but we don't really use the 200 in this strategy. I use that more for my smart money trade, okay? All we're concerned about here is the 13 and the 62, and that's where on the 4 hour, the 13 crosses above, making it bullish, right? And that's what tells us now, right, that both the 1 hour and the 4 hour are bullish. So here's the first pullback to the 62. Now I want you to see we have a break of structure here, right? So this area right here is a smart money liquidity block that gets hit. See? So this is technically also a smart money trade. However, as you know, on our smart money trades, we look for a lot more confirmation down on the 15-minute chart before we get in. On the 62 pullback trades, since we're on the 1 hour taking our trades, we don't need as much confirmation. We just need the ATH to go on. Okay, so if we get in this trade right here, at the open of the next candle, look at this thing. I mean, this thing goes all the way up to here, right? That's like a 1 to 5. Right? That's like a 1 to 5, almost a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio trade. So you easily get your 1 to 2 there, right? And then right here, you get a second ATH, right? Second. Sorry about that. Right here, we get another confirmation. Now, you can take one and you can even take two. Once you have two confirmations in like a trend, then I wouldn't take any more signals, okay? Even though these aren't trading signals, right? You want to look at it to make sure everything's lining up for you, right? So here we have another break of structure. So we have another smart money zone here. We have a smart money zone here. So again, these are also smart money trades, right? Price is moved into those order blocks or those liquidity blocks, right? It's mitigating these banker candles that we call them, right? You'll learn about the banker candle if you register for our new 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series. The first video teaches you about the banker candle. So if you don't know this stuff, guys, you don't know what I'm saying right now, make sure you get with me so I can send you the link so you can register. That way you'll learn all of these concepts that I talk about on the videos and you'll know what's going on. Okay, so now we have a second opportunity to take this trade, right? We could take it at the open of the next candle, or in this case, we could have waited for a pullback. Sometimes you don't always get that pullback. Let's say we get in right there. We're going to put our stop loss right there. Okay, and this one moves up and gives us a 1 to 2 right about there. So again, 2 trades on this pair this week. Just this week, guys, using our ATH indicator, our proprietary indicator, with our 62 pullback strategy, right? And again, on the 62 pullback strategy, I like to use the 1 hour chart for my trigger chart. 4 hour chart is a trend, just like in smart money, but the trigger chart is the 1 hour on these ATH, on these 62 pullback trades. So I showed you one trade in AUD CAD, and there's 2 trades here in AUD USD. Okay, now let's go down here to GCAD. Right? Right here, the 4 hour flips. You get your most powerful opportunities right after you get this 4 hour flip, and then you get an immediate pullback to the 62 and then an ATH indicator, right? Now this trade right here isn't really in a smart money zone because you don't have any breaks of structure to the upside here to validate a order block, right? The last validated order block would be down here. But again, that's just an additional confirmation. That doesn't mean you can't take the trade unless you decide that for your trading plan. Now, right here, again, 13 was above the 62. Right here, we know that the 4 hour, it just crossed. We get the pullback. We get these nice wick rejections on that pullback, which is always good. Here's our ATH candle right here. So if we take this trade at the open of the next candle, our stop loss is going to go down here, right below that wick, right? We get a little bit of drawdown, nowhere near our stop loss. And again, price easily gets you to a 2-to-1 right here, right? And this moves up, could give you a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio trade, which means now you could exit half the position at 1-to-2, right? All matters how you want to do this. You could have exited half your position, right? When you had a 1-to-2, okay, right there. And then at that point, you could have moved your stop loss to break even to eliminate all risk in the trade. And then you could have let this run, right? You could have let this run trying to get a 1-to-3, right? Or all the way to a 1-to-4. That's something you have to decide in your trade management plan, okay? That's something you need to decide, okay? For me, if I'm doing the 62 pullback using the ATH as a confirmation, I'm probably just going to get out once I get a 1-to-2, right? After I have about 25 winning trades to look at in my journal, and I notice, oh look, I could have gotten a 1-to-3, I could have gotten a 1-to-4. Then I'll start implementing a different trade management plan where I maybe exit half the trade, like I showed you, at 1-to-2, and then move the stop loss to break even and let it run. Now you can also use the fractals to trail this, and if you did that, then you may have gotten stopped out somewhere around here on the second half of your position, at a 1-to-1.5. So in that case, it would have been better just to take everything off the table at 1-to-2, right? But it all matters how you want to do it. So here's another winning trade now. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 winning trades I've showed you using our 62 pullback strategy. But there are more, guys. Right here, we get the pullback. We got all these wick rejections, which are very good. Here's our ATH candle right here. We had this break of structure. So this is a liquidity block, right? You have a banker candle right here. This liquidity block gets hit here. And we get our ATH right here. So if we take our trade at the open of the next candle, right, our stop loss is going to go probably right there. And as you see here, price moves up, we get a 1-to-2 right here. Right, so another winning trade using our 62 pullback strategy, right, which is our community's, one of our community's strategies, okay? You may not see this strategy anywhere else, okay? This isn't a strategy that our company teaches. This is a strategy that our community teaches. Again, our community has almost 6,000 members right now, okay? So they've been around for a long time. The community's been around for a long, long time, guys. This isn't just something we just started. Okay, so there's another winning trade. Now, if we look at GBP NZD, here's our 13s above the 62. We get the 4-hour flip right here. Here's our pullback. We had a break of structure here, right? And so price did come down here and touch our liquidity block, which would be right here. And then, right, we get the ATH signal that it is safe, maybe safe to take a trade here on the 1-hour chart. And so if we, again, if we can get in at the open of the next candle, or we can wait for price to retrace, and fill some of this imbalance. It's up to you. It's up to your trading plan, how you want to do that. If you wait for it to retrace, you get a better entry. So you get a better risk to reward, or you get out of the trade faster at your take profit risk to reward level, right? But it's up to you how you want to do it. So in this particular instance, we would probably use this low right here for our stop loss. And then boom, we easily have a 1 to 2 right here. Again, we could exit half the position, right? Move our stop loss to break even, and then go for a 1 to 3 and get out there. Or we can go all the way to a 1 to 4. It's up to you. Again, another winning trade using our communities 62 pullback trade and our communities proprietary indicator, or ATH indicator. You're not going to find this indicator anywhere else, guys. This is our community's proprietary indicator. The leader in our community, Michelangelo Martin, created this. He paid over $10,000 for it, and he's continued paying money to programmers to update it, which he just did recently, which is why I added it to my trading plan now, because he updated it so that now you can set it so you only get ATH indicators when you have a 62 pullback. Okay, there's another trade in NZD CAD, right? Again, the most powerful opportunities are going to be right when this 4-hour flips in your favor. So all the way back here, the 13 on the 1 hour, the 13 moves above the 62. But right here is where the 4-hour does the same thing. We know that because the indicator tells it to us by this vertical line here. We don't have to go to the 4-hour to check it. Our indicator already lets us know, and our indicator then will only paint this ATH indicator signal here if that's the case. The 13 and the 62 have to be aligned on the chart you're on, plus your trend chart, which in this case, I use the 1 hour for the trigger and the 4-hour for the trend. Okay, here's the pullback, touches at 62. This is a smart money zone as well. We have a break of structure here. So this area is a smart money area. It gets hit once, moves up out of it, comes back a second time. Here's our ATH confirmation. Again, we can get in at the open of this candle to make sure we get in, or we can wait for a pullback and get a better entry, right? We can use the FBG entry from the candle before it, right? I teach that in the Smart Monics, right? Where your FBG entry, or your fair value gap entry, is that candle before the signal candle. So that would be that wick right there, right? But let's say you just get in at the open of the next candle to make sure you get in, right? Your stop loss is going to go right down below this wick here, and boom, right here you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio exit, or again, you can sell half your position, move your stop loss to break even, and try to get a 1 to 3. In this case here, you would get a 1 to 3 right here and be out of the trade. Right? So again, guys, these are all winning trades, right? So I showed you what? I showed you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these green flags here next to these pairs are winning ATH trades, and there were no losing ones. These are all the ATH signals that came out. There are no losing trades this week. Now, that's not always going to be the case, guys. You're going to lose trades. Sometimes these trades will lose. But last week, there weren't any losing trades that I saw using this strategy. Okay, again, here's the 4-hour flip, right? Here's our pullback. We are in a smart money zone. We get a break of structure that validates this area right here. We also had a break of structure here. So this area down here is also validated, right? So this is a smart money trade as well. Here's our ATH, boom. We get in right here at the open of the next candle. Our stop loss goes down here. Again, we get a 1 to 2 right here. We could take everything off the table. We can exit half the position, right? And try to get a 1 to 3. We get a 1 to 3 right here, we're out. This actually goes all the way up to 1 to 5. You know, these are all winning trades I'm showing you guys. A 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio trade. If you're risking 1% of your trading account, that's a 2% gain on your account. So these are all 2% gains on your trading account in 1 week. If you're risking 2%, then it's a 4% gain. This is unbelievable. And this is why people are coming to our community by the dozens. Here's NU. Again, there's your flip, there's your pullback. You are in a smart money zone. You have a break of structure validating this area right here. Again, you can get in at the open or wait for a slight pullback. Let's say you get in at the open of the next candle. Boom, your stop loss goes right down here. Right here you have 1 to 2. Again, you can exit your full position at a 1 to 2, right? Or you can close half of it, move your stop loss to break even and try to get a 1 to 3, which you get right there. USD CHF, this is a short position, right? There's our flip telling us we're bearish. Here's our pullback. This pullback goes all the way to the 200, which is even stronger, but you don't need it, right? You just need the 62. And here, boom, you get your ATH signal, right? You have this break of structure here, validating this area right here as a valid 1 hour liquidity block, right? Price hits it. There's our ATH, right? We can wait for a pullback, which we would get, or we can just take the trade at the open of the next candle to make sure we get in. This trade has a risk of about 50 pips, so a little more risk involved, right? 50 pips, but doesn't matter. You're always risking the same amount of money because you're basing your risk on 1% of your trading account or 2% of your trading account. So you're just adjusting your position size. So it doesn't matter if your risk is 10 pips or 50 pips, the dollar amount's always the same, and the dollar amount you gain is always the same as well. It doesn't matter, even with the 50 pip risk, right? We get a 1 to 2 all the way right down here. Again, another winning trade. What about USD JPY? Boom. These are all from this week. These trades all went off this week, guys. I'm just showing you why you want to join our community, right? Because there's a ton of money to be made here using our proprietary indicator. But if you're not ready to join yet, just get our free 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series. Okay, you can see that, you can learn about everything, and then you can decide to join. Again, another pullback all the way to 62, a stronger, even a stronger pullback, right? Here's a break of structure. We have a 1 hour liquidity block right here that gets hit. Look at this big ATH candle. Now, we don't normally like to see our candles that big, right? In this case, this is like almost a 90 pip candle. Okay, so now you know when you get a candle like this, you almost have to wait for a retracement. Okay, because if you just get in here at the open of the next candle, your risk is going to be over 80 pips here. So now, in order to get a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio trade, price has to move all the way up to here, which it almost does. Okay, but when I get a really big candle like that, right, then I'm going to wait. I have to wait for a retracement in this case. And you can see here, that if you look at your FBG entry would be right down here. You see these wicks right here. I would wait for a pullback right to there and I get it right here on the next candle. Now, if you don't get it, fine. You just let that trade go. I've showed you over 10 trades here, guys, from last week alone in 1 week. And I'm kicking myself in the ass because I couldn't take many of these trades. I showed you the couple trades I took, but I got very little profit on it. And I made the mistake when I took the one, so I lost that $100 on that one. So if you wait and you don't get in till right here, now your risk is only 50 pips, and boom, right here, you get a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio trade. You can close half the position, try to get a 1 to 3, which you get right here. So even with this giant entry candle here, if you wait for an FBG entry, which I teach you in my group, you'll see videos in my group. That's our smart Monix strategy, right? That's using our company's harmonic scanning, right? And that's using our one of our lead educator, Manny's training that he does live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Now, you only get that if you're a customer of our community, okay? But this is very powerful, guys. So overall here, I showed you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 winning trades using our 62 pullback and our community's proprietary ATH indicator as the signal. Okay. Not necessarily as a signal, but as a cue for you that you have a possibility to take a trade. Then you have to decide if it fits your trading plan and if you want to get in. But I showed you 10 winning trades here, and that's not counting the 3 that I showed you in the group, okay? So we have over 10 winning trades this week and no losing trades using the 62 pullback strategy. So like I said, I've incorporated this into my trading plan now because of the updates that Michael has had the programmers make to the ATH indicator. You can set it so that you only get ATH you only get the ATH signals come out, right? When I say signal, that means there's a possibility to take a trade, right? He has that program now so that you only get them when the 13 and 62 align and you get a pullback to the 62. Okay. So this is how we use our ATH indicator, excuse me. This is how we use it for the 62 pullback trade. Now tomorrow, in my live session, I'm going to go over my smart money trades and also the smart money strategy. I show you how I mark up the 4-hour liquidity blocks on all the pairs. I go through all the pairs, right? Mark up, show you where the 4-hour liquidity blocks are at. And then when price moves into our liquidity blocks on the smart money trades, we drop down to the 15-minute, and then we use our ATH as a confirmation to take the trade, along with a shift candle, right, that you'll learn about tomorrow on my live session. So make sure you don't miss that. Make sure you have notifications on so you know when I go live. And, it doesn't matter because you'll be able to access it at any time here in the group, the Forex Smart Money Trading Academy group. Now, again, if you have any questions, just drop them down below this video and I'll answer them as soon as I see them. Okay. If you want to get our free 9-part Smart Money Concepts video series, right? Comment below, drop me a message. I'll send you the link to register for that. You'll get a video immediately after you register, and then you'll get a video each day for the next 8 days for a total of 9 videos. You'll also learn about our educational platform that we belong to. You'll also learn how you can become a customer of our community. If you don't want to, that's fine. You get the 9-part video series free. Now, if you've already been through that, or you've been in my group for a while following me, and you're ready to become a customer of our community, get access to everything that we have, our proprietary ATH indicator, everything that the company has, all the educators that go live during the week, many times during the week, every day, you'll be able to find a live session that you can get on, or you can just watch the recorded sessions, right? Every session is recorded. Every session our community does is recorded. Every session our company does is recorded. So you get access to everything, and you don't, it doesn't matter if you have a job, you'll be able to access the recordings, right? So if you want to get that right now for another day or two, you can save $100 when you become a customer of our community. So I have a video that shows you how you'll save the money, right? How you can join our community, what you're going to get. And if you want that video, again, comment down below for the educational platform video, or message me on Messenger and I'll send you the link to that. So until tomorrow, guys, when I come on here live and I go through the smart money trades, again, I've showed you 10 plus winning trades just this week using our community 62 pullback strategy with our community's proprietary indicator, the ATH indicator. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.